Today, we are tier ranking every running back in the NFL. The ball is on the 25, and it is 1st and 10. Welcome back to the show. Today, folks, we got a fun one on the docket. We're tier ranking every single RB in the National Football League. But before we do that, Metro, my co-host, lovely man, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing great. All things running backs. We have some interesting conversations to have today. Let's get into it, man. Let's hop into it.
This one is going to be a doozy. Let me pull up my screen right here. The entire league of starting running backs. Here they are on full display, and let's go through each one of these tiers. At the very top, we have elite. This is not, a lot of people throw the word around elite around commonly. Elite is a very sacred place. We will only put the best running backs of the best at the very, very top. Great means, hey, you are changing a franchise every time you touch the damn ball, a massive player on your offense. Good, very solid back, a game changer on your offense. Average means, hey, you're getting the job done, but maybe you don't have the juice that some of these guys do in great and elite. And then, may I take your order? Truly, guys, there are only 32 starters in the NFL at running back. Nobody is a bum here, but if we have to put them in the bottom tier, it's for a reason, because they're just not a group of the best on this list. Metro, any comments you have before we dive headfirst into this tier list?
Yeah, I just want to emphasize what you said here. None of these running backs suck. If we do put one in average, or may I take your order, it doesn't mean they need to work at McDonald's, right? They're NFL players for a reason. If Joe Mixon starts serving me fries, then that'd be cool, but he's better suited running the rock than cooking me up a high C number 2 with a March fry.
Yeah, man, nobody needs to be at Arby's. With that being said, let's get this list going. First up, we have Aaron Jones, the vet that has been around for, man, it feels a long time. We've been coming up on like 10 years now. Maybe it's more like 7 or 8 to be more accurate. Metro, this is where it's like film or, I'm putting him down here for right now. He's not may I take your order. Film or name. Like, the name has fallen off because we've heard it so much and we know running backs have a short lifespan. But truly, I think he's probably average, maybe even good. Where do you think, or may I take your order? I'm not paying much attention to Aaron Jones, but I think he had a solid year last year.
Yeah, statistically speaking, he was 9th in rushing yards, and he was all right. I mean, the biggest thing with Aaron Jones is he just wasn't very explosive last year. I think he only had three rushes with over 20 yards. Compare that to like Saquon, who had over 15, and Henry, who had over 15. So obviously Jones is no longer the superstar that he used to be for the Green Bay Packers, but now on the Minnesota Vikings, he's serviceable. He gets the job done. As you said, he's a bit of a veteran at this point. He's how old? For running backs, you're a veteran at like 22, but he's 30 years old, so he's legit a veteran. They brought in Jordan Mason in the offseason to be the future guy. I would put him in good. Like, he'll be towards the back end of good when it's all said and done, but, you know, he still got 1,000 yards last year. I think a lot of that was due to the, you know, coaching and offensive line, but you got to give him his flowers. He did his part.
He did do his part, and the UTEP minor will go right here in our good tier. Next up, we have Javonte Williams, the Dallas Cowboys starting running back. Metro's a Dallas Cowboys fan, and he's not biased whatsoever. Metro, Javonte was a guy when he came out of college, everyone was like, oh, he is the future. He breaks so many tackles. He's explosive as shit. And it just, injuries have derailed his career. For being honest, it just hasn't come into final form. And will we hit that ceiling we thought we might be able to in the very beginning? Where do we think we rank him? This is a really hard one.
Before we start, I want to applaud you for knowing that Aaron Jones went to UTEP. I did not know that. I had no clue where he went to college.
Gotta call it out.
Good stuff there. Javonte, though, look, I'm a Cowboys fan. I think he can have a bounce back here. I'm not expecting 1,000 yards. I'm more expecting like 800, 750. I think he'll be in a committee with Jaden Blue, probably even Miles Sanders, so that might bring him down even less than that. Unfortunately, he's arguably the worst RB1 in the NFL, if we're just being honest, which is a shame because the talent was there early into his career, but injuries, as you mentioned, have derailed him. But only 500 yards last year, 3.7 yards a carry. He had less rushing yards than Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts. So,
damn.
Not very good. So yeah, he's gonna be in. May I take your order? I have hope behind this offensive line. He can be better, but I'm not feeling too confident about him. So I'll put him in. May I take your order?
BK, have it your way. You rule, Javonte Williams. You're holding down the May I Take Your Order tier, and by the way, you are 10 times the athlete we will ever be. But for this tier list,
speak for yourself, buddy. I can run a 5 flat 40.
You said 5 flat. You said.
I don't even think I can run a 5 flat right now. If I could run a 5 flat, I'd feel really good about myself, to be honest with you. Like if you tell me, hop out, 15-minute stretch, run a 5 flat 40, I would be thrilled, to be honest.
I would lose my mind. Realistically, I'm running a 5.4 flat and tearing a hamstring. That's probably where I'm going to
sure. We got to stretch for at least 20 minutes. These guys can stretch for 2 minutes and just they can get 20 carries and 100 yards, and they're feeling pretty good. But
yeah,
I got to stretch for a while. Even Aaron Jones at 30. I don't know if he missed a game last year. He missed. No, he didn't miss a game. I'd miss a few for sure. Probably the entire season after one snap.
Yeah, I'm out by. I'm about practice one of fall camp. Get me the hell out of there.
Yep.
Next, we have Bijan Robinson. This dude is just taking the league by storm. If you don't know who he is, you're basically a really, really, I don't know what kind of fan to call you. You're beyond casual. Bijan Robinson on the Falcons is a dynamic running back. He can catch. He can run. He can bring the physical force and also juke the hell out of you, and he catches the football. I love him. He's like the epitome of a modern running back. Where do we want to rank him? I would fight for elite tier personally, unless you feel differently.
Yeah, I would probably say he's an elite tier as well. I did want to say, this is completely random. I made a trade on my fantasy team.
Dynasty?
It's a Dynasty fantasy league, and I had Bijan, and I'm trying to find the specifics of the trade. And I want to hear from you, and I want to hear it from the audience if they're interested in this. I traded Bijan Robinson and 2 other players.
What?
In return, I got Ashton Genty, and then I got the tight end for the. Here it is, right here. I got the actual details. All right. So keep in mind, this is a smaller league. It's my family league. There's only a few of us in this league, so it's not
teams?
like 4 teams. All right. So we are stacked with talent.
Everyone's stacked. Okay.
The way we make up for it is we have more positional spots, right? So we have like 3 quarterbacks starting, 3 running backs, 3 receivers, so on and so forth. So the trade was, and keep in mind, my team is loaded with talent. All right, I want to make sure I get this out. My trade was Bijan Robinson, Sam Laporta, Bo Nix, a 27-second, a 25-third. In return, I get Genty, Trey McBride. Just saying, I think I cooked, bro. I think I cooked.
Brother, you got scammed.
Well,
What are you
can I explain myself here? I think this is a good trade for me because my quarterbacks, I didn't need Bo Nix. All right, Bo Nix was literally on my bench. And I have, if I can find my team, my team right now, my quarterbacks are Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, C.J. Stroud, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, and Dak Prescott. So I didn't really need a quarterback. All right. I needed a younger running back. I know Bijan's young, but I don't know. I just wanted to risk it a little bit. I needed a tight end upgrade too.
You wanted to feel something?
As good as Laporta is, I needed somebody a bit more stable. Trey McBride's a better tight end statistically in fantasy than Sam Laporta. So I traded a backup quarterback in Bo Nix. I got an upgrade at tight end, and I got Ashton Genty in return for Bijan. So. Can I be honest with you? I regret that trade so bad. I legitimately regret this trade so much. I'm trying to talk myself into it, to be honest with you.
Okay, also, I'm keeping you a buck. Guys, his team's so stupid good. It's a 4-team league, so, that's the only reason I'm giving him shit right now, because I know he's going to be just fine.
Yep, I got
it doesn't matter what he trades away.
I have Saquon,
go ahead. Name your
Derrick
team, bro.
Henry.
Name your team.
All right, I'm going to name my team real quick. Saquon, Derrick Henry, Genty, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Bucky Irving. On my bench, I have James Cook. I have Nico Collins on my bench, by the way.
He's fine.
I'm straight.
He's
but I
fine.
regret
That's
the
why I'm
trade.
giving him hell.
I regret the trade
you got
a ton.
scammed. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Anyways, Bijan is incredible. He 3rd in rushing yards last year, 1,400. The best is yet to come. I'm a Longhorns fan. Love this guy. He's in my elite tier. Probably will be towards the back end because we're only going to put a few in there, but he's for sure in the elite tier.
Bijan, get right into the elite tier. And next RB, oh man, this is a player. Bro, I'm blanking. I'm looking. I love this guy. What's his name? Why am I blanking?
Breece Hall.
Thank you very much. God, it's going to hurt me. Breece Hall is a electric running back, but he has been taking some regression over the past 2 years. But when he came into the league, he was dynamic, a great pass catcher, all over the field, carrying this Jets team at times. And now he's kind of in a dispute with his team on a downtrend. What the hell would we do with Breece Hall? This is a hard one.
Honestly, I'm looking at his stats now, and they're very underwhelming. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like Breece Hall has been a dude who's been in the league for a few years now. He's only been in the league for 3 years, but it feels like he's been in for 5 or 6. And it feels like this is a guy who's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons. He has not had a single 1,000-yard season.
Wow. That's insane.
He had 463 in 7 games in 2022, 994, so just under 1,000 in 2023, but he was great that year. And then last year, statistically speaking, he wasn't terrible. 209 carries, 876 yards, 4.2 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns, but 5 fumbles last year, which was not really good. I don't know. To be honest with you, they're now taking a committee approach because they have like a ton of running back depth there. So there's going to be a lot less on the plate for Breece, which I think we should probably take that a little bit against him here. I think I want to put him in good, but I feel like I have to put him in average, which is weird because I'm like, the name value wise for me and Breece Hall is like, this is a top 10 running back, but the production isn't there. And now he's in a committee. So I'm going to have to put him in average right now, at least in my opinion.
I get it, dude. I get it. Weird. Man, Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker came out of the same draft class, both second-round picks as running backs, right? They just can't stay healthy, but when they play, they seem to be really good. More Kenneth than Breece, in my opinion. I'm with you. I would fight for good if possible, just because when Breece touches the ball, I think he could do things that Aaron Jones can't do at his age. That's just my opinion, though. But then at the same time, Aaron Jones is playing a full season, and Breece Hall is not. And availability is an ability, as we talked about last time. I'm not going to hold firm here, but I'd put him right here, and this would have put him in average. What are your thoughts?
We could put him in the back end of good, but I will say if you are a Jets fan, stay till the end because we might move him down depending on how the board kind of falls. But for now, I'm okay with him being in the back end of good because I do think he's a talented running back. I think he has everything in the toolbox to get the job done. It's just injuries, inconsistencies, and now he's in a committee of other running backs. So what's that going to look like? So I'm sticking to what I'm saying is average. But if you want to put him in good, we can keep him there for now, and then we'll have the debate down the board.
Cool. I like it. Let's keep him here for now. See what happens later. Next, we got Joe Mixon, the Texans' starting running back. Mixon has been a very fun running back in the NFL. Coming on the back end of his career now, but he's still pretty damn useful. I would throw him right here, Metro, unless you feel like he's great in your opinion, just because I know he's like slowly declining, but I still like the production I get out of Mixon. He can be a 3-down back if you want him to. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, last year he started the season off pretty well, had an injury. Then he bounced back and had like multiple games in a row where he was dominant. And then towards the back end of the year, he wasn't as great as he was earlier. Still had 1,000 yards in only 14 games. So that's really good. I think I'm with you on this one. Top end of good. I think I'd rather have Joe Mixon than Aaron Jones right now, and I'd obviously rather have him over Javonte and Breece. I could make the argument to put him in great, but again, it's one of those things where let's see how the board falls. I feel a bit more comfortable putting him in good, and then we'll have the debate a bit later if we, feel like it's necessary.
Cool. Yeah, and it's going to get spicy down the line. And speaking of spicy players, it's just Brian Robinson right here, the man, the myth, the legend, the Washington Commanders running back. Many men wish death upon me. He's an absolute beast, but also he's not like great tier. I put him right above average. I think he's the definition of an average running back in the NFL. Like, I like what you get out of Brian. I just don't think he's moving the needle on the offense. What say you, Metro?
Yep, I'm aligned with you. I think his best role in the NFL is as a RB2 next to an explosive back. Like if you put Bucky Irving on this Commanders team, it would be the perfect fit. The nice thing for Brian is he is in a team that has maybe the most explosive quarterback in NFL history with Jaden Daniels. I mean, it's between him, probably Michael Vick. I'll give it to Vick. But in recent years, Daniels is, incredible. So Daniels can kind of help him out a little bit there. But, yeah, as an RB1, I just think he's kind of average. Has never cracked 800 yards. Has trouble staying healthy a little bit, which, understandable, let's be honest. But, still had 8 touchdowns last year, so he's good in those short distances. Can be a bit of a bruisier style guy. But you're not getting a ton of explosivity from him anymore. So I'm okay with him just being simple put, average, not trash, just average.
Approved, not trash. Brian Robinson sitting here firmly in the average tier. Next, we have Chase Brown, the running back of the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming out of college, this guy was a freak athlete, and it's like, hey, the film's kind of there. The production was fine in college, but the athlete is what shined through. He killed the combine, and he got a chance on the Cincinnati Bengals and kind of fell into this starting position where he's killing it. He was like a 6th-round pick or something, right, Metro? He was like a day 3 pick for sure.
He was a 5th-round pick.
5th-round pick. There you go. That's pretty impressive for a 5th-round pick to be holding a starting spot firmly going into a year. So here we are. He's explosive. Is he changing the game in a great tier? No. I think he's getting somewhere in the good tier, maybe in front of Breece. Is that wrong? But arguably, Metro, what are you thinking?
I don't know, honestly. He wasn't the starter in week 1. I think that was I can't remember his name, but the guy they brought in free agency who was a starter at the start of the year. And then Chase Brown eventually took over because it was pretty clear this dude's pretty damn good. After, I think, week 4, he had 10 carries every single game. He had some highlight games, especially against the Raiders with 120 yards. A couple other games as well. We had 97 versus Tennessee. I don't think he's a game changer like a Bijan or some of these other guys we're going to talk about, so he's definitely not great. The conversation between Breece Hall and Chase is interesting because I do think if you put Breece in a situation where he stays healthy for a full season and you put him behind a good offensive line, he'll be a better player than Chase Brown, but that's hypothetical talk. And Chase Brown, in his first year here, got the job done. So I'm willing to put Chase Brown in front. I feel pretty good about where he's at, to be honest with you.
I think it's time. I feel a separation here in the tier list between Chase Brown and Breece Hall. Is that incorrect to you, or you want to move him back up here to good tier? I'm game to move him down to average right now if you want to.
Yeah, I think we could put him in average. I don't think there's a huge separation. I think they're pretty close. But I have been saying I do think Breece Hall is average, which is a shame because he's ridiculously talented.
Okay, cool. We will land there and move Breece Hall down to average and put Chase Brown at the very back of good tier. Next up, we have Jonathan Taylor, the front runner for the Indianapolis Colts running back. Jonathan Taylor, he was hurt for about 2 seasons, then sprung out on the season last year and reminded everybody who the hell this guy is. He's going to carry this team in 2025. Ain't shit got to change. And for that, he's got to be a great tier, at least in my opinion. And if you really felt like he was elite, I honestly wouldn't press you too hard on it. Where do you want to rank him, Metro?
So it's tough. Like you mentioned, 2022, 23 dealt with injuries throughout the years. Then last year, even though he did miss time, he was explosive. A lot of big-time plays, 11 touchdowns last year. Looked like his, younger version of himself. And in 2025, I think you can put his name up there with the elites. I will say I do think there's a clear top 3 to 4, and then I think Taylor is right after them. He's he's bordering on elite. Let's give him one more year to get him to that level. I know he had 1,400 rushing yards, but again, you just can't rely on his health sometimes. So I'll put him in great. I can obviously hear the conversation for the elite tier too, but I feel okay with him being at great.
Cool. Let's stamp him in the great tier, and of course, bound to change later if possible. Next, we have Chuba Hubbard, the starting running back for the Carolina Panthers. And Chuba is a guy that was kind of quiet, awesome in college, obviously, on Oklahoma State. He was fantastic. Comes into the NFL, and he's pretty good here, pretty good there. But it felt like this guy was going to be a rotational back. And then he breaks out in the past couple of years and just makes his name known and says, hey, I'm going to be a full-time starter for an NFL team. Good for him. That is hard to find in the NFL, and this guy got paid because of it. Now, I think he's going to be nearing the top end of the good tier, in my opinion, because that's pretty remarkable what he did. And he's still in kind of the prime of his career. I forget how old he is, to be honest. What are your thoughts, though, Metro?
He is 26. So
26? Perfect. Right in the prime.
Yeah, he's in the middle of his prime, which is scary for a running back because your prime's like 3 to 4 years if you're lucky. So hopefully he still has a lot of years left in him. Not a lot of tread on the tire though, but he did have 1,100, basically 1,200 rushing yards last year, 10 touchdowns. Really came to his own towards the back end of the season after a few kind of slower weeks to start the year off. 114 in week 3, and then after that was just great the rest of the season. Multiple games over 100 yards. Yeah, I would put him in the top end of good. There is a conversation between him and Joe Mixon, and I think I'll stick my guns here with Joe Mixon being in front, just because he's the vet, he's Unk, right? He's been there, done that. It's the same thing with like Jonathan Taylor and him not being an elite. It's like, okay, yes, you're good, you were great this year, but can you stay healthy for another season? For Chuba, it's like you were great this year, but can you replicate that again? Joe Mixon's proven that over and over. So, yeah, I'm okay with him being right there.
Cool. Approved. We're going to have Chuba Hubbard right here in the good tier behind Joe Mixon and in front of Aaron Jones. Next, we have the starting running back for the Chicago Bears, DeAndre Swift. He started a Lion, then he was an Eagle, and now he's back with Ben Johnson, the guy that traded him away. What an awkward scenario. It's like meeting up with your ex again after she went with a new man. But here we are. He's going to be under his old coordinator, and it's kind of awkward, but man, what a good system to be in. With Swift's talent, we know he's got it. But also, I think there's some vision issues, and that's the reason the Lions seem so frustrated. Maybe it's like an attitude thing. I don't know. All I knew is that the building, when you watched Hard Knocks, something wasn't clicking. There was a reason that these guys didn't morph together, and that's why he's been kind of moved around the league. But he's got talent. We know that. I would put him right here. I put him right here, Metro, in front of Brian Robinson, behind Breece Hall in the average tier, because I think Breece has more talent overall. But I do think Swift is more talented than Brian right here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a certified DeAndre Swift unliker. I'm not a big fan of DeAndre Swift. That being said, he did have almost 1,000 yards last year. He had 1,000 yards for Philadelphia. So it's a little bit unfair maybe for me not to like him. But I do agree. I think he has some fundamental issues as a runner of the football. Only 3.8 yards per rush last year. I just think he's fine. I think he's best suited as like a explosive receiving threat that can carry the load when your starter is injured. I actually kind of think him and Brian Robinson would be a nice little duo together. But yeah, so I'm with you. I thought they were going to address running back in the draft, which, I mean, they did get Kyle Monungai, which that'll be a fun fit. But I actually could see a world where Kyle Monungai really works out for that team. So
that's my
watch,
guy.
Watch your job, DeAndre, because you got David Montgomery 2.0 right behind you. I'm with you, though. I think I'd rather have Swift over Robinson, and I think I'd rather have Breece Hall over Swift as well. So I like that spot right there.
If you had to pick Breece Hall or DeAndre Swift for the next 3 years in your team, what are you doing?
Breece Hall. I'm just praying he stays healthy.
Cool. Just wanted to test the waters there with some injury history. Next up, we have Devon Achane, or how do you say it? Achane, correct?
Yeah, that works. I don't know.
Just want to make sure. Devon Achane, the running back of the Miami Dolphins. If you don't know, this guy can absolutely fly. He came from Texas A&M, and he honestly has surprised me. Most of the time when guys go into the league out of the draft, you hear, oh, they run a 4.2, they run a 4.3, and to that I say, it's not a goddamn track meet, so stop yapping about it. But you have guys like Achane who just prevail, and they prove that speed absolutely kills, especially on the Dolphins 7-on-7 team. Where do we rank him, though? He feels like a very unique, fits the system perfect kind of running back, and if you went to maybe the NFC North or the AFC North, where it's a little bit more bruised, windy, snowy, it wouldn't be the same kind of success. What are your thoughts? I really don't know where to rank him, so you're going to take the lead here.
This is tough. I do want to say this. In 2023, his rookie year, 100 carries for 800 yards. So this dude was almost averaging 8 yards a carry.
It's ridiculous.
That is insane. I mean, just ridiculous. Last year, obviously, that was unsustainable, especially when Tua wasn't there and Hill wasn't playing good and the offensive line sucked. But he still had almost 1,000 yards. He was averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Elite in the passing game, almost 600 passing yards this year.
He had a crazy amount of catches, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 78 receptions. And by the way, 87 targets, 78 receptions. So he only had 9 incompletions. I mean, this dude's special, man. He's a special talent. I don't want to put him in the elites. Great is, I think, pushing it. But I think, actually, I would put him in elite, to be honest with you. I think he's such a special talent that can be used in a multitude of ways, both as a receiver and as a passer, or receiver and as a rusher. Is he going to be a guy who gets to 1,000 yards consistently? Probably not. But, you want to talk about another guy who doesn't get 1,000 rushing yards, but we all consider to be elite. Let's talk about Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara has never had a 1,000 rushing yard season. And I think that's kind of where you're like, okay, this is Devon Achane is Alvin Kamara, 1.5. He's not 2.0 because Kamara's a different breed, but 1.5.
Interesting. So you're going elite tier here for Achane?
I think so. He may not have like the 1,400 rushing yard season, but you got to add some context here. The Dolphins were a crapshoot last year. They were terrible.
It's true.
Shitty offensive line. Tua's missing half the season. He, hopefully will get healthy this year, and he still had 900 rushing yards, and it was still very productive as a receiver. So I'm going to give him his flowers here. I'm not a Dolphins fan. Of course, he's an Aggie. I'm a Longhorns fan, so I wish he would have went to the right Texas school, but it is what it is. We all make poor decisions in life, and that was one of them. But he is a very he is a very good running back. I'd put him he'd be in the back end of great, not the front end, but the back end.
You said great or elite?
No, not elite. Great.
Oh, okay, cool. We're going to put Achane in the back end of great. Confirming that. You've been saying elite, so I just wanted to make sure. I was like, we could put him next to Bijan Metro, but I'm not going to argue because it's the first one I let you rank him first off. But we're going to put Achane in the back of great tier next to Jonathan Taylor. And for the next RB, what a unique running back. You talk about Old Faithful, a Toyota Tundra. This man won't die. Josh Jacobs lives on. The legend goes on and on forever. He takes carries to the chin and just produces, whether he's on the Raiders or he's on the Packers. He had a phenomenal year last year, and no signs to say, besides Father Time, that it might slow down. I would rank him at the top of great, probably behind Jonathan Taylor, but where would you put Josh Jacobs? Because I'm open to anything.
Yeah, it's right next to Taylor, either in front or behind. Last year, I will say Taylor was better statistically in less games, so I think we have to put Taylor in front.
Fair.
When I was doing the Taylor ranking, in the back of my mind, I was like, damn, I'm really putting myself in a bad spot here with Josh Jacobs, because I was like, Jacobs is damn good too, and but he was awesome last year, like legitimately really good player, and I think this next year is even going to be better. 15 touchdowns, 1,300 rushing yards, 342 passing or receiving yards. So yeah, this dude's a workhorse. He could be a little inconsistent though, where like he'll go for 1,600 and then the next year 805, and it's like, whoa, Josh, what happened, man?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, but then he just bounces back and looks like his former self with Green Bay. So just stay healthy and continue pushing forward. I'm okay with him being in the middle between Achane and Jonathan Taylor, but I could even see the argument of him being in front. But Taylor had more rushing yards in 3 less games, so I gotta, shot myself in the foot there. But it is what it is.
Metro approved. Let's put him in the great tier, Oreoed between Jonathan Taylor and Devon Achane. Next, we have James Conner, the starting running back of the Arizona Cardinals. And guys, this is Unk City, man. You talk about a running back that just won't die. He's a cockroach. I have to put him in good tier. Maybe in front of Aaron Jones, kind of my line. They're both producing still at a high level. I think James Conner does a better job. I haven't seen the stat sheet yet in front of my eyes, but I just feel like he's been doing it year after year, and he just won't go away. He's so consistent. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he does miss a couple games here and there. Like last year, he missed 1 game. The year prior, I think 4 games. So he'll miss some games, but when he's out there, he's just a really solid player. And he's one of the weirder players where, especially for the running back, where running backs typically develop for the first year or so, and then they're awesome for like 4 to 5 years, and then they kind of fall off a cliff. James Conner, he was great in his sophomore year, but, he was all right for most of his career. And then these past 2 years, when he's 29 and 30, he has just been incredible, right? He's been really good, over 1,000 yards both years, has been used in a variety of ways. I'm okay with where you have him at, honestly. Last year, his receiving work also picked up. I would rather have, they're both 30, so it's like you're picking straws here, but I think I'd rather have Conner over Cook. No, Jones. I don't know where I got Cook from. But yeah, I'd rather have who's a Cook? James Cook. I don't
James
know why.
Cook.
I get them messed up sometimes. But yeah, I'd rather have James Conner, and I think I'd rather have Chuba Hubbard over him. So I think we have him in like the perfect spot here.
Man, we're just cooking. So let's put James Conner right here, smack dab in the middle of good tier. Next up, we have Jalen Warren / Caleb Johnson. Want to do slash, or do you want to do just Jalen?
Let's do slash, because I do think Warren will be the starter, but I also think Caleb's going to get a lot of work too.
Cool. Some bonus points right here. Jalen Warren / Caleb Johnson for the Steelers starting running backs. Metro, I'm a big believer in Caleb Johnson, and I like Jalen Warren. If it was just Jalen Warren, I'm thinking average behind Breece Hall, but with Caleb Johnson, he's a rookie, so I'm not going to go crazy, but I'll put him right in front of Chase Brown. What say you?
I would argue back here a little bit. Warren's never been an RB1. He's been fine as an RB2. He's done his role. He's used a lot in the passing game. I just don't think I love Caleb Johnson. I think he's a good player, but I want to see the proof in the pudding a little bit here, and we also got to take into account Jalen Warren. So I agree with you. I say let's put him in the back end of average. I would say, would I rather have Warren / Caleb over DeAndre? Yeah, I think I would, which might be unfair, but I don't care. Screw him.
So you want him? We're thinking like behind DeAndre Swift or in front of DeAndre Swift? Or
I think
behind?
I think in front.
Cool. Good spot right behind Breece Hall in the average tier. Next, we have Jerome Ford, and I don't think we get to mention Quinshon Judkins for obvious reasons. Are we aligned with their Metro? We're not talking about Quinshon?
Yeah, who knows what's going to go on there. We're going to keep it pushing. We don't know. So with Jerome Ford, it'll be – they also have Dylan Sampson, too, who I think could play a nice role. But for this one, we'll just talk about Jerome Ford, who, he's a fine back. But let's be honest, he's not great.
I'm thinking
he's in front of Javonte. He's in front.
I'm thinking, man, take your order, Metro. Is that wrong? Is that mean?
It feels mean, but it's probably the right spot. His volume last year was only 100 carries, but did make the most of it with 500 rushing yards, a little over 500, but played most of the year. He can be used in the passing game. He's not a bad player. 2023 was a good year for him, but yeah, I don't know. He's okay. He gets the job done, I suppose, but there's a reason why they drafted 2 running backs. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. With that being said, we have Javonte Williams and now Jerome Ford in the May I Take Your Order tier. Which one is working the cashier? Which one is the fry cook?
Well, I don't want Javonte back there because it's really slippery in the back of those restaurants. He might slip and get injured again. So let's keep him in the front.
Word.
And then Jerome, he can work the fry station. We got to get somebody to flip some patties. We'll see.
Have to. This will be a good squad right here, and hopefully it builds on. We need a manager here pretty soon. Let's see if they could fall into place. Next, we have, is this J.K. Dobbins, the new running back of the Denver Broncos?
That is. We can kind of do like we did with the Steelers, where we just do J.K. / RJ. I do think J.K. will be the starter, though. I'll just say that.
Cool. J.K. Dobbins / Harvey feels more explosive and dynamic than the previous duo in Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson. Would you agree or disagree? I put him right here behind Breece Hall, but want to hear your thoughts.
I would agree. J.K. is a bit of an interesting case here because
he is.
Several years of just unfortunate injury luck, and then last year he finally stayed healthy and had a really solid year. Let me see those numbers here: 13 games, 900 rushing yards. Really looked explosive at times, made some nice plays. Still missed a couple weeks, which was unfortunate. But you also throw in the R.J. Harvey factor, who I think is a talented running back. Not as talented as Caleb. I liked Caleb quite a bit more, but I still do like Harvey quite a bit. If we're taking the both of them in the same ship here, I would rather have J.K. and R.J. over Warren and Johnson. But it's pretty close. I don't think it's like a huge divide between the two.
Yeah, same tier, same average tier. So let's place them right here behind Breece Hall in the average tier. Next we have, Alvin Kamara. Man, this guy is an explosive, strong, versatile back. What's not to love about Alvin Kamara? I think we have to give him his roses and put him at the top of good tier in front of Mixon. I don't know if I put him in great tier personally. I think he's still kind of fading away with the age to put him in great tier. Kind of projecting there, but what are your thoughts, Metro? If you think he needs to be in great tier, then we could talk about it.
Yeah, it feels like he's older than what he actually is. He's only 29 years old, which is weird
Whoa.
because he was drafted in 2017, and it feels like he's been in the league for years. Like he was playing with, Unky Unk and Drew Brees. Like this dude was playing with like prime Brees too, and Michael Thomas, which, my God, it feels like a decade ago at this point.
It's a fever dream.
Yeah, Kamara has been the definition of consistent. He has been dealing with issues with health throughout his career. Little knacks have gotten him here and there, but last year, 950 yards was actually his most productive year as a runner, and one of his more productive years in the past 5 or so years in terms of a receiver. So yeah, I think he's towards the front of good. I might even make the argument he's in great, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like, it's just you can't really describe his play. Like he's playing with some real dog shit up front, man. That team sucks. All right. The Saints have not been good since Breeze left, basically. They have not been a good team. And, Kamara's, when he's been out there and healthy, he's been Alvin Kamara. He's not as explosive as he used to be. He doesn't make the same big plays. His yards per rush are a little bit lower than what you would like, but he still can get the job done. So, would I rather have him or Joe Mixon / Chuba Hubbard? I think to me is the debate that I struggle with a little bit.
Here, I'll set the table for you, actually. I'll make it easier for you. Devon Achane, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon. Keep, trade, cut. Go.
Ooh, damn. Keep Achane. I'm going to trade Mixon and I'll cut Kamara. So I guess Kamara would be the third man there. But Hubbard's interesting too. I guess we'll give Alvin the edge here because he's been doing it since he was an infant. Since I guess more like since I was an infant. I was 15 when he got drafted. I'm almost
Straight
25,
baby,
guys.
bro.
I'm almost 25.
We're getting old, brother. We are getting old. Alvin Kamara's going to go right here in the good tier behind Joe Mixon and in front of Chuba Hubbard. Next, oh man, Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions running back. It's Sonic, and this guy can fly. I think he's elite tier, and I think Metro is going to be aligned here. He is just like, I think we love, as humans, explosive, electric runners of the football. Man, you go back to like Tavon Austin college mixtapes and Reggie Bush. That shit's fun. You see those flashes with Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not saying he's those players. I'm just saying that kind of player. Jahmyr Gibbs can fly, man. He's fun as hell. He's got to be elite tier. You have to know where he's at on the field. And I do think where his game will evolve to over time is he'll become an even better receiving back as he gets older, as Kamara has in his career. Metro, where do you want to rank him? Do you think he's better than Bijan? Do you think he's worse? Do you think he's even in elite tier? What do you think?
The Bijan-Jahmyr Gibbs conversation continues. Drafted in the same year. Man, that's a close one. I'll say this. This might be a bit of a hot take, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually going to happen. I think Gibbs is the next Christian McCaffrey. Just stay healthy, dude. I mean, McCaffrey was so good for so many years, got hurt a few times. I mean, Gibbs has that talent. He has that potential. They play kind of similar to one another. The Bijan-Jahmyr conversation is really interesting. I did on my channel that doesn't exist anymore, I did a Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson video kind of debating on who would win. And at the time I said Bijan. Of course, I'm biased. I'm a Longhorns fan. But now it's close, man. It's pretty darn close. I'll say Bijan's the better runner. Jahmyr's the better receiver. I lean Bijan still, but I think Jahmyr is it's close, man. It's really close.
I lean Bijan just because I can give Bijan 300 carries and he'd be okay. Jahmyr is like 5'8". He's shorter. He's not as strong. Bro, but he'll take some hits, I'm going to be honest, for how small he is. But with all that being said, the tread on the tires is more with Bijan and playing to his side. But, bro, one quick mention, as you mentioned, dynasty teams earlier. I have a friend in a league, 12-team league, very competitive. He has Jahmyr and Bijan Robinson, and I'm like, holy shit, how did we allow
so does my brother.
this?
So does my
So
brother.
does your brother?
Well, it was either that or Ash and Genty and Jahmyr. So
Gave him Bijan. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, just this trade just continues to haunt you. I'm just kidding. Your team's just fine. But yeah, we feel good about Jahmyr Gibbs behind Bijan here in elite tier.
Yes, I feel good about it.
Cool. Next running back, Kenneth Walker, the Michigan State Spartan transfer from Wake Forest. Should have been on the Heisman committee, hot take. This guy was an absolute monster in his heyday back at State, and then entering the league, he's been straight juice. He just can't stay healthy, and that's what it comes down to. I still think he's got that dog in him, and ain't shit gonna change. He's bringing the pack a punch this year as well. But can he stay on the field? That's the question. I think the answer is hopefully. I think if you get above 10 games out of Kenneth Walker, that is a win in my eyes because you're probably winning 7 of those games. But if he's out, that really changes your offense. But where the hell do we rank him, Metro? I would put him in great personally in front of Achane, which is probably really bold. I think Kenneth has got it. He just can't stay on the field. So if you want to rank him lower, I get it.
Yeah, I'm going to rank him a lot lower. Probably in good somewhere. He'll be in, for me, towards the back end of good. I like Kenneth. You know, and I've said this throughout the offseason. I think I said it. I think we did a Seahawks video. Don't quote me at all. Kind of just, it's all fuzzy, man. Who knows? We did.
We did.
But I'm pretty sure in that video, and I've said it in past videos too, there was times last year where Walker and Charbonnet, like over and over again, like consistently, would get the ball and instantly have 3 dudes, just killing this guy. And there'd be times where sometimes Kenneth would get out of the tackles and making some killer plays. There was also times where it's like, there's nothing I can literally do. It was the offensive line was so bad last year for Seattle, especially because of the injuries to their tackles at times. But yeah, I'm gonna plant my flag with Kenneth being in front of Jones, in between Connor and Jones. I think Kenneth Walker is a talented player that has shown flashes. 1,000 yards his rookie year, 905 his second year. Just stay healthy. Stay healthy. The offensive line's better in Seattle. I think the supporting cast is really intriguing. If the offensive line can improve, stay healthy, and if they can build a game plan around him, it'll be a bounce-back year for Walker. So I'm going to put him in the good tier. I think great is a little rich and a little projecting a little bit.
Fair. I'm projecting if you play 17 games, to be honest with you. So, yeah, you're completely right. Let's put him right here in the good tier, in between James Conner and Aaron Jones. Next, we have Kyren Williams, the running back of the Los Angeles Rams. Rams video coming out on Thursday. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun one. I'm indifferent about Kyren. I think he's good, and he works in the system, but I don't think he's moving the needle. I don't see him in elite. I would have to argue for a great tier, in my opinion. I think he's good, but honestly, I don't watch Kyren like that. What do you think, Metro? You know more ball on him than I do.
He's a good player, man. Not really a huge threat as a receiver. Only 206 2023, 182 receiving yards the past 2 years. So not really like a huge threat there. So that kind of does limit him over an Achane or a Gibbs, for example. But as a pure runner, this dude's great. Just struggles with injuries. Only 12 games in 2023. Missed a couple. I think he missed a game last year too for the Rams. But he just gets the job done. He is just the ultimate workhorse back. You can use him in a variety of ways. He's really good as a pass protector, too. He can get to touchdowns. You can. I wouldn't say he's the most explosive guy. He's not Saquon. He doesn't have the explosiveness of a Jonathan Taylor, a Bijan, or a Jahmyr. But that's not really what this team needs from him. They just need this guy to get the dirty yards and make the right plays, and he consistently does that. So for me, I'm biased. I would put him in the back of great and maybe the front of good. But, yeah, I think that's about where he goes. I think he's for sure in front of Joe Mixon, though.
Okay. I agree with that. Let's put him in great. Let's have some fun. I like stirring the pot. Let's put Kyren right here in the back of great tier, right behind Devon Achane. Next up, we have Najee Harris and, of course, the running back, the rookie, Omarion Hampton. Side by side, Batman and Robin. Metro, I'm going to come out and say it. I don't think Najee's the most efficient dude, but he plays a lot of games, and he stays on the field and runs the damn ball. But with Omarion, I think this bumps up Najee from being in a good tier to them being in great tier. And that's projecting, but I think this is one of the nastiest duos in the NFL. What say you?
Again, I think that's projecting in terms of how good Omarion can be, which I think Omarion's very talented. He'll get a lot of opportunities. Hopefully Najee's okay, by the way. Hurt his eye. That sucks.
It did hurt his eye. I honestly, Is he? That was like a week ago. Is he okay?
I don't know. I hope he is. That
hiding.
sucks though. Yeah, it's a cover up, man. It's something's corrupt over here.
Cover up is you could have used any other word, man. Cover up's not cool. Not cool, Metro. Not cool. He is missing an eye. So we thinking good tier somewhere in here?
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere in that. He's damn consistent. As you mentioned, like the definition of consistent. Over 1,000 yards every single season. Not necessarily the most efficient back in the NFL, but get you touchdowns, get you 1,000 yards, play 17 games, chills on the sideline, doesn't cause any sort of beefs in the locker room. He's just a chill dude playing football, man. That's cool to see. I will say I'd rather have Chuba over Najee. And, Hampton I like Hampton too. I think Hampton was the second best running back in the class. He was drafted in the first round for a reason. I do think he'll only get like 15 to 10 carries a game. I think Najee will take the workload a little bit, assuming the eye's okay. But I'd put him in front of Connor. That's where I'd put him. Again, we're putting the two together for this one.
Cool. Can I fight and put him in front of Chuba? Just because I
Sure.
love Amari and Hampton. I'm obsessed, bro. Is that all right?
Yep. Yeah, that works. I like Chuba
Cool.
better, but yep, I'm okay with it.
Cool. Amari and Hampton and our man. Right. What the hell's his name? Why did I forget? Why am I blank? Do I got CT? What's going on with me, Metro?
Who are we talking about?
Najee Harris. My goodness. Najee Harris and Amari and Hampton are going to go right here in front of Chuba Hubbard and behind Alvin Kamara in the good tier. I think I'm getting sick. I need to check this out. Next up, we have Derrick Henry, the running back of the Ravens. Guys, Derrick Henry just doesn't age. Father time is not a thing for him. And if you haven't figured that out by now, I don't know what you're doing. Is he great or elite? I think he's definitely one of the two.
It's elite.
Where do you want him?
He's better than Bijan. It's not even close.
Okay.
Not even close.
King Henry is going at the very top, in front of Bijan, in front of Jahmyr Gibbs. You can't stop this dude. Metro, you want to glaze some more with me? Take him to Krispy Kreme.
1,900 rushing yards, an average of almost 6 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. He's not a receiving threat like a Bijan or a Jahmyr can be, but it doesn't matter. Like he's just that good. Future Hall of Famer, All Pro. Arguably would have won Offensive Player of the Year if it wasn't for Saquon being an absolute demon and Jamar Chase being a monster on the field. So, Derrick's just incredible. But he is 31, so we'll see. I feel like it's just a matter of time.
The stiff arm bandit's going to go right here at number 1 in elite tier for us. Next, we have Mr. Pacheco, the running back for the Chiefs. He was a 7th-round pick, and he has made his name in the NFL with running the ball like every run is his last and just setting a presence on that offense. He is fun as hell to watch. I'd put him in average personally, but what are your thoughts? You could rank him anywhere, and I'd honestly agree.
Yeah, I mean, when he was healthy, he was incredible, especially for the value that he had. But last year, just missed a lot of time. And in the short amount of time we did see him, he wasn't all that great. Yeah, he's for sure average. I would put him in front of Brian, assuming he comes back fully healthy. He probably moves up the board, but I mean, he didn't look right when he came back from injury last year. So hopefully that's fixed up now. But I'm gonna put him right there. That's where I would have him at.
Cool. Let's put Pacheco right here in front of Brian and behind DeAndre Swift in the average tier. Next, we have Ramondre Stevenson / who they also draft, that speedster named Trevion Henderson. Thank you very much. Sorry, but I'm butchering today. I'm having a rough time. I don't know what's going on. There's nothing in my cup, I promise. We got Stevenson and we got Henderson, and this should be a fun one to watch. Everybody's expecting that Henderson will take over later in the year. I'm speaking of the rookie, of course. I would put him here behind Breece Hall because I still believe in Breece Hall. But what say you, Metro? Or you want to project a little bit more here, or do you want to pull him back?
I would move him back one spot. I like JK more than Ramondre, even though JK struggles with health. Ramondre is just not very explosive. He could be a bit of a workhorse here and there. I think he's a good running back, don't get me wrong. Add in a Trevion, I think that's a great... actually, I've talked myself into it. Put him in front. I talked myself into it. I love the combination.
Approved?
Yeah, I love the fit of the speedy, receiving option and who's a great runner in his own right. Add that with a bit more of a bruisier guy who can get downfield. and make some plays in the pass game here and there. I just think it's a really good duo, and I think the duo's better in terms of contrasting play styles more so than JK and RJ.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's put him right here in the average tier behind our man, Breece Hall, and ahead of J.K. Dobbins. Next, we have Bucky Irving, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back. Guys, Bucky coming out of college was just a film machine. All the film guys were like, this dude is the next prophecy, and all the guys who looked at the combine stats were like, this guy is a bot. And it turns out that the film guys win sometimes, and Bucky tore it up early in his career. So here we stand today, young player with a lot to come later in his career. How high do we rank him? How many kudos do we give him? I'm going to go good tier for sure. I would rank him, he was consistent as hell, man. I would put him right in front of Chuba personally, but what are your thoughts, Metro? This can go anyway.
I want to give him his flowers. I was one of the few naysayers in this guy. I did not like his film in college. I really did not. And I watched like 15, 20 running backs last year, and Bucky's the guy I actually watched the most film on, and I did not like his film. I don't know why. Maybe I was just having a rough day, but I was not a fan of Bucky Irving, and I'm glad that I was wrong because this dude is a superstar, man. This dude's a stud. That said, it took him a little bit to get going. Clearly last year they did not want to give him the reins to the offense, and they wanted to keep his carries to a minimum, but still 207 carries, 1,122 rushing yards, 5.4 yards a carry, 8 touchdowns, just under 400 receiving yards. He's a second-year guy, so we got to take that into account. I'm willing to plant my flag on him being in the top end of good, but I also can sort of see where you're positioning him at right now. So I would move him up just a little bit, but yeah, he's a good player.
But let's go keep trade cut Bucky, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon.
I'm keeping Bucky. I'm trading Kamara. I'm cutting Najee.
Wow. Oh, I mentioned, Mixon, Kamara, and Bucky. Those three.
Oh, okay.
No Najee.
I'd rather have Bucky at this stage. He's just more explosive. And again, it's just maybe a preference in style. Mixon's a hell of a player, by the way. But Bucky's just a bit more of a dynamic option. And, just does a lot of things for this team. It can also be used in the receiving game. I mean, he completely took over the job of Rachaad White. And Rachaad White was a, respectable starter. And he just said, no, it's my job now. I'm gonna cook you all season long. He finished top 10 in rushing yards last year, and he was by far the lowest of the top 10 in terms of actual attempts by like 50 attempts. So got to give him his flowers.
Love that, man. Bucky Irving. And at the end of the day, guys, bro, who doesn't love the name Bucky? The brand is just outlandishly good. Bucky Irving's going to be the top of our good tier here on this chart. Next up, we got a guy I hope you know. His name is Saquon Barkley, and the Giants didn't want him because they said, hey, man, you're too expensive and you're a running back, and you can't make our team better. So how about you go over to our in-division rivals, and we're also going to have the whole situation broadcasted on a live television show, a.k.a. HBO Max's Hard Knocks. He's my favorite running back in the entire NFL. Metro, do you feel differently? I think he's the perfect blend of agile, power, great leader in the locker room. You saw this guy during the parade, too, where he, picked that fan up and took him over. It wasn't a fan, actually. It was actually one of the guys in the equipment room. He's like, bro, you're part of the family, too. You got to celebrate with us. He's just a great dude, a great player, and maybe the best athlete on the field at all times. What are your thoughts after I just glazed the hell out of this dude?
Yeah, I do think it was interesting. I want to say PFF actually ranked Derrick Henry in front of him. So that was a kind of bizarre take from them. I was a little bit surprised. In fact, I've been pretty surprised with a lot of the stuff they've been putting out lately. They've had some crazy takes lately. They put Justin Jefferson was like the 25th or something best player in the NFL. I was like, whoa, that's not right.
Uh-huh.
That makes no sense. What's weird? They actually, I just looked this up. His PFF grade is the 11th highest in the league. Excuse me, the Saquon. Are we kidding? I don't know. I think Saquon's a stud. I think he's also the best running back. I do agree with you. I know Saquon plays behind a fantastic offensive line, but so does Derrick Henry. I mean, they both do, respectively.
Yeah.
So does Jameer and Bijan and Taylor. Well,
Sense of theme here, guys?
Yep,
Boost
sense
the
of a theme
line.
here.
You figure shit out.
Build in the trenches. But I will say, I think Saquon has the ability to turn a shitty offensive line into actual production. So can Derrick Henry. But I think, especially now at this stage where Derrick's 31, not as explosive, still extremely explosive, but not as. I feel like he, maybe took a bit of a step back in terms of that, but he still can get an 87-yard run this year. Like, he's explosive as hell. So.
Can I mention something? Go ahead. Wait, go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking it's really close, and I can understand what PFF's talking about with Derrick Henry and Saquon. I would have Saquon in front. It's close, though. Like, it's neck and neck.
Gotcha. I feel that. I feel like going into 2025, the RB market is kind of swinging back from near death.
It's still crazy to me, like, man, Derrick Henry just had almost 2,000 yards and is only getting $15 million. Like,
Good
dude,
God.
Like, I don't even know how much is the receivers making.
Minimum
Jamar
20.
Chase is making 40.
Uh-huh.
And you're telling me that Saquon's only making 20? I just think it's weird, especially when you got like that level of a talent. But, I understand. And, those two, they've done a really good job. This past year, in my opinion, was great for the running back market because, like I said, there was sort of a wave there for a little bit of like, oh, we don't need a running back. We'll just get some dude off the street. He'll get the job done, and we'll pay him pennies on the dollar. And then you got guys like Saquon winning a Super Bowl on his back, guys like Derrick Henry having great years, McCaffrey having the great year he had the year prior, Taylor bouncing back, Bijan's a superstar. Like, the running back market's for sure heading in the right direction.
So back, brother. So our elite tier as it stands right now goes Saquon Barkley at 1. At 2, we have Derrick Henry. 3, Bijan Robinson. Then finally at 4, Jahmyr Gibbs. Next up, we have Tony Pollard, the running back for the Tennessee Titans. Tony Pollard on the Cowboys felt like a revolution when Zeke was getting slower in his age, but now Tony just is kind of Tony. I think he's good. I think he's like behind Pacheco personally in the average tier. I like what he brings. Maybe I'm not looking at this correctly because you seem kind of concerned about this, Metro, but I put him here in average tier. What are your thoughts, though?
I would put him in front of average, in top of average. I would. The Chase Brown conversation to me is really interesting. Pollard's had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, but, like literally just over 1,000 basically. He's a fine running back. He gets the job done. Not as explosive as he once was, especially after that leg injury in the playoffs. But, he still gets the job done. He's still a capable starter. If you have Pollard on your team, you feel good for the year, but you're also planning for the future. So, I don't think Tennessee's really freaking out about this one. I would put him in, I'd put him in front of Breece Hall and right behind. Honestly, I'd put him behind Chase Brown. That's where I'd put him at. I think he's a good running back.
Okay. You want to put him in good tier?
Yeah, I mean, the
I'm
Chase
okay with
Brown
it.
thing.
I'm just asking.
Chase is good. Chase had a really good year.
Wait, do we move Chase down? It's kind of...
No.
No?
For me, it's between if it's Pollard. Do I move him down or keep him there? That's to me. I think Chase Brown's a good running back.
Cool. Then let's put Pollard in the good tier right behind Chase Brown. Next up, we have our man Cook, the running back for the Buffalo Bills. And he's currently in a contract dispute, but we know that'll get figured out by the season, hopefully, as it usually does. But with that being said, Cook was pretty damn nice last year. He just scores touchdowns when you need him time and time again. How high do we rank Cook? I think he's in good, but you could even argue for great. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to put him... I would put him in between Kamara and Mixon. I think he's a good player. Gets touchdowns, can be used in the receiving game, can be used as a runner, obviously. 18 total touchdowns last year. Can't deny that. He's just like the perfect fit within the system, and he's still young, and he's going to get paid. He's just going to get better. So that's where I'd put him at.
Honestly, I totally agree. Let's put him right between Mixon and Alvin Kamara in the good tier. Next, we have Travis Etienne. And what a first-round pick like a handful of years ago. And it's fine. I haven't seen stats, but I know in fantasy, this is just a guy that's been a whirlwind to own, ups and downs and injuries, and just can't stay on the field. And what are your thoughts, Metro? Where do you want to rank him? Because I have no damn clue.
Yeah, well, I think the best way to sum it up is Tank Bigsby took his job. So
Well said.
That should really kind of tell you everything. Yes, he's the RB1 right now. I don't think it's going to be for much longer. He's I hope he bounces back, but 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons to start his career, back down to earth with 500, really inefficient, just is not as dynamic as he once was. It's just kind of weird. Maybe this new system with Liam Cohen can bounce him back, but I think we have to put him in May I Take Your Order because he's one of the few guys that essentially got benched. But I think he would be in the front, though. I'd say that. He'll be in the front.
Okay, so with that being said, we have the full Krusty Krab boosted and ready to go. We have Javonte Williams being Squidward at the front of the establishment. For SpongeBob SquarePants on the Fryer, we have Jerome Ford. And then finally, for Travis Etienne, he's going to be Mr. Krabs in the office counting the cash. This is our front runner 3 for May I Take Your Order. You like that, Metro?
It's an unfortunate comparison. If I was one of these guys watching this video and I got compared to SpongeBob, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs, I think I'd want to retire. That would hurt my ego. Bro,
honestly, and I'm trying to make y'all laugh here. These guys gonna kick my ass, and I hope they know that. Y'all are much better men than I am. With that being said,
Travis, you want to come on the pod, man? Hey, listen, we will not say this to your face.
No, never. Hey, we love you. That's the tier you're in, and these are our top 3 in the tier. Next up, we have Christian McCaffrey. Christian, we made comps of Jahmyr Gibbs to Christian McCaffrey because they can both catch the football as receivers, and they're dynamic as shit with the ball in their hands. When McCaffrey plays, he's one of the best in the league. But ability is... What? Damn it, Metro. Damn it. I can't get it right, Metro. I'm struggling today, man. Metro, how about you take this one? I'm just going to sit back and let you cook.
Yeah, that's a quote we got to work on. The best ability is availability. Look, man, a year ago, this dude was absolutely balling out. What do you have? 1,400 rushing yards, 500 receiving yards. This dude has the capability of just being an all-around monster. Unfortunately, though, he's coming off an Achilles injury where we don't really know what that injury is going to look like and how he's going to perform. I've heard positive things, but again, I mean, what can we trust anymore? Everything's a cover-up. Everything's a screw job, and this might be one of them. Christian, I hope you're okay. I hope the Achilles injury is not a big deal. I can't put him in the elite tier, though. I just cannot. It's so, how old is he? He's almost 30. How old is he? 29 years old, going to be 30 at some point, coming off an Achilles injury. I don't think it was a torn Achilles. I don't know exactly what it was, to be honest with you.
I'll confirm right now. Keep going.
Yeah, whatever the injury was, though, I hope he returns back to form. But I look at the situation around him. The offensive line's not good. Receiving core has a ton of questions. You got Ayuk with injury concerns. Your first-round pick in Ricky Pearsall got shot last year. He didn't look He looked okay last year. We'll see. And then Jawan Jennings wants a contract. So there's a lot of questions there. The only sure thing I could see on this offense is Kittle and Purdy, and maybe Trent if he's healthy. But it'll be interesting. Did you see the injury?
Achilles tendonitis. My God, that's rough.
I don't know what that means.
That is rough and scary for the future.
That sounds rough. I don't know how that works, but it just sounds terrible. I don't want that. That sounds horrifying.
No, hell no.
That sounds
Can't
terrible.
do it. Where do you put it? We can't put him lower than great, though, can we?
No.
Is that just wrong? Okay, how do we
it
put him?
Feels
though?
wrong. Yeah,
right here behind Jacobs because he didn't play.
Yep. If he can come back and look like his former self, then he's in the top 3. But Achilles tendonitis, man, that's not it. That is not a good thing for a 30-year-old running back. That's just not how you want to go out.
Hold your breath, 49ers fans. Metro, bless your heart, and thank you for taking that one. Needed that break because I'm losing my damn mind today, but I'm having fun. Here we go. Next running back, we have Tyrone Tracy of the Giants. I like Tyrone Tracy. I actually really harped on him when he was coming out of the draft a year ago. He was a rookie out of Purdue, and he was a wide receiver forever. And then this Purdue coach was like, hey, man, you should play running back. And he said, nah. And he kept doing his thing at receiver. And then his senior year, he's like, you know what? Shit ain't working. Got to change it up. And he's like, come play running back. Kills it. Gets drafted. Fast as shit. Good receiving back. Really dynamic. But when you're in the NFL, how high can you be on this list? I would put Tyrone Tracy right here.
I'd put him higher. I'd give him some respect.
Would you put him higher?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him in front of – he wouldn't be in good, right, because it's just his rookie year. And he was good last year, 839 yards, 4.4 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns used in the passing game too. And he'll get a nice, workload this upcoming year. I could see him getting to 1,000 this year if the offensive line improves. By the way, just want to throw this out there. I saw a clip of Evan Neal at guard. Looked pretty good. So we'll see.
Chat?
I've been saying this for like the past 2 years. The second I saw him at tackle that first year, I was like, guys, stick this man inside to play guard. Like, let him use his mass, let him anchor down. It's killing me that they kept sticking him out there at tackle. I think they're going to use him as a guard this year, and it could potentially save his career. Or he'll just suck and then, just ignore everything I just said. Who knows? But in terms for Tyrone Tracy, though, I think he's a good back. I don't know where I'd put him at, though. I don't think I'd put him I don't think he'd be in the good. I think I'd put him, maybe I'm okay with him being right there. The Breece Hall thing is just, God, he's so good, but he's just, injury prone and just not as productive as you would like for him to be. I don't know. Yeah, it sucks. We could leave him there. I'm okay with that.
Cool. On the uptrend for sure. So Tyrone Tracy, hold tight. You could be in the good tier very fast next year, maybe even in the great tier if things really work out. Next, we have Ashton Jeanty. Not next. Finally, we have Ashton Jeanty. Yeah, man. This is the rookie running back that I remember this kind of hype since Bijan Robinson personally, and I felt this was more hyped. Maybe it's recency bias, but Jeanty was just flat out phenomenal in college, as we all know. I'll take it to Krispy Kreme some more. I think this man will get literally 1,000 carries, not 1,000, but he's going to get a ton of carries in his rookie year. Pete Carroll wants to run the football. He's going to run the football with his first-round pick in Ashton Jeanty. He hasn't put a snap on the foot. He hasn't put his foot on a damn NFL field yet, but I'm willing to rank him in the great tier. Really bold, I know, but I just feel that confident about Ashton Jeanty. What do you think, Metro? Am I smoking? Am I a little bit too high up on Ashton Jeanty? What are you thinking?
Now, that was honestly where I was probably going to put him too. Kind of makes me want to put Bucky Irving up a little bit, but I'm okay with it being right there. One of the things that I did want to say, I think part of the reason why there was so much talk about Jeanty and not as much for Bijan was in a class with Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, Paris Johnson Jr., Jalen Carter, and a bunch of other big-name guys. Compare that to this past draft where it's like Cam Ward, Travis Hunter's elite, Abdul Carter's good, and it's like after there's a massive drop-off. So the talent pool was more captivating in the 2023 class, hence why Bijan wasn't talked about a whole bunch, especially when the quarterback class was just terrible, right, this year, where it's like Cam Ward, cool. Shador goes in the 5th round, and it's like, oh, this is insane.
Whoa.
We got Jackson Dart going in round 1. Like, what are we doing around here, man?
What the hell's going on?
I feel like I got to make it we got to make it a bit where every video I just throw a shot at Jackson Dart. I got to do it.
You're a full-time hater on Dart, man, and I respect how consistent you are.
Dude, listen, if you were there sitting down, eating some chicken wings or pizza, watching Florida versus Ole Miss, we all saw it with our own eyes. Dude threw 3 interceptions within like a 3-minute span. One of the worst meltdown. All right, I'm done.
You could have gone on for another hour.
I could have gone for another hour.
The game is pretty bad. But back to Ashton Jeanty. Let's rank him right here in the very back of the great tier. And now, guys, this is our tier list, but we're not done yet. This is the fun part. We're going to go through each line, and Metro can make one move without my permission, and so can I if I want to. Line by line, what do we want to do? Let's start at the Krusty Krab tier. It feels so wrong to say, but here we are. We got our 3. We got our manager, our fry cook, and our front man with Squidward tentacles. You want to move any of these running backs, Metro, or no? You're up first. I'll always go second.
No, I feel really good about our trio of employees. Like, we got the manager, we got the cook, we got the guy up front. Maybe we could use a custodian, but maybe we could get one of those this next year, I should say.
Yep, NFL's ever-changing. Let's lock in the Krusty Krab tier. Next, we have the average tier. We got Breece Hall. We got our man Tyrone Tracy, Ramondre Stevenson. It's going to be J.K. Dobbins, Jalen Warren, Swift, Pacheco, and finally Brian Robinson. Anything you want to move here?
Man, the Breece Hall face does not fit this category at all.
No, it does not.
He is what is the term? A black sheep in a crowd of white sheep or whatever it's called. It just doesn't look right, but it's probably the right spot for him to be at. So I'm not going to change anything, to be honest with you. As much as I love Breece Hall, it's like I don't know what I'm getting from this guy anymore.
Fair. I'll keep this one still too. But this next good tier, let's have some fun. We better move some shit around because I'm definitely going to. Next we have in the good tier, holding down the top of it, we have Bucky Irving, Joe Mixon, Cook from the Buffalo Bills, Alvin Kamara. We have Najee Harris, Chuba Hubbard, James Conner, Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones, Chase Brown, and of course, Tony Pollard. Anything you want to move, Metro, before I make a move?
I'll let you move first. I'll be a gentleman. I'll let you go first, so I could just revert it back.
What a gentleman. Let's go. I'm eyeing this. I want to move this, but I think he's actually in a pretty good spot. I'm going to move up Kenneth in front of Chuba Hubbard because I'm a Kenneth absolute fan. I'm biased. I'm a Michigan State Spartan. So what do you want to move now?
It's the Bucky Irving. Do I want to move him up to great?
Ooh. What, a promotion?
I think he deserves a promotion. He could have a great year. He just feels like the odd man out a little bit here. I do think that he's like clearly the back end of great. I'm going to put him in great. Screw it. I'll put him up one.
Promoted. Welcome, Bucky Irving. You're going to be in the great tier. And here we are. Anything else you want to do good? Actually, no, you just get one move. Our final good tier is what we mentioned. Besides, we moved Kenneth up 2 spots, and we moved Bucky Irving up to the great tier. Great tier, we have Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, CMC, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, our man, Ashton Genty, then finally, promoted, brand new Bucky Irving. Any moves here, Metro?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. The only one to me that's kind of up for debate is switching Taylor and Jacobs, but I'm content with where it's at, to be honest with you.
Hot take. I'm moving Genty in front of Achane. Hasn't played a snap. I don't give a damn. I can't wait to see his rookie year firing on all cylinders. He said it's a bold move. You're about it?
Well, it's a bold, but it's a baller move. I respect it. When Genty has 800 rushing yards and Achane has 1,600, we'll come back to this video. And I'll be pissed off too, by the way. My fantasy team will be cooked. That better not happen. I did not trade Bijan for 800 rushing yards, all right? Bijan, please. Or
please,
Genty,
God.
I should say.
Help him. Next, we have our elite tier. 4 guys holding this down by themselves. We have Saquon Barkley, King Henry, Bijan Robinson, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Anything you want to move, Metro?
No, I think that's perfect right there. I feel really good about that. The only one to me that's a conversation is, flipping Saquon Henry. It's really close. They're 1A, 1B. And then Bijan, Jahmyr, you could flip them either way, and I'm cool with it. But I think Bijan's the better pure runner than Jahmyr, so I'll give Bijan a bit of the edge. Plus, I think Bijan's a good receiver. Not as good as Gibbs, but he's capable.
That's cool, bro. I'm going to move Jahmyr Gibbs all the way to 1. I'm just kidding. He looked up. He's like, are you out of your damn mind? Guys, this is our final tier list. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Drop it in the comments below. If y'all enjoyed this video, drop a like because the YouTube algorithm is dumber than a box of rocks. And if you don't like the video, they're like, oh, you watched for 40 minutes, but you didn't like it. You must have hated this video. We know that's not true, but the algorithm's dumb. So go drop a like for us. We appreciate it very much. Guys, if you watched this far in the video, we appreciate you more than you know. We love you guys. Have the best day. Metro, get us out of here.
Thank you guys for watching. If you disagree, tell us down below and let us know why.